What's up, YouTube? It's Artisan MC, and this is just a little something I was looking at a little while ago. So the first thing I'm going to say is shout out to Hurricane Edward Anderson for telling me about this site. And I was watching another video, and it was talking about box office numbers, and then I remembered this site, and so I went back to it to look at the box office numbers. And the site is called Box Office Mojo. Com. One of the things I was looking at on this is because I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready to do my review of Old, right? And the video I was watching, somebody was talking about the Snake Eyes movie and how much it dropped. So I'm tooling around with the site and whatnot, and I like how it brings up the numbers, the weekly numbers. You see for last week, right here on the right, let's see if it's big enough for you guys to see. No, it's not. Let me enlarge that a little bit. All right, let's see if that works a little better for you guys. Yeah, I think that works better. Okay, so for the box office, so this past weekend, first week for Old, it took in 16.9 million, which is not bad. Snake Eyes took in 13.4 last week. Black Widow took in 11.6. Space Jam took in 9.6. Fast 9 took in $4.8 million, even though it's been out for about a month. Right. Now that was interesting. Now you get down here to this part where it talks about the top movies of 2021. Well, it's not surprising Fast 9 is 163 million. And that number, I believe, is worldwide. Right? Quiet Place 2, Black Widow, Godzilla vs. Kong, Cruella. Okay, not really a surprise. All right, well, this is domestic. You get over here to worldwide, you see Fast 9 is up there, Black Widow is still up there, right? If you got more, you'd see Quiet Place up there. No Snake Eyes. Space Jam is down there. Fucking Mortal Kombat is still there. Jesus Christ. But you'll see a lot of other movies that you know nothing about and care nothing for, right? I usually try to look at all of this stuff, but like I was saying, thanks to Edward Anderson for telling me about this site because I did not know about it. But here's the thing I was really going into and debunking, not debunking, but looking into and liking. So you can put in the name of the movie that you're looking for, right? And then you can get information, what they opened domestically, what they took in internationally, what they're taking in worldwide. And what I like, because I am a fan of numbers, my, first love was always science. I told you guys, I wanted to be Buckaroo Banzai when I was a kid. I wanted to be a scientist and everything. So I always like numbers because being able to actually see that data and see those numbers are always interesting to me. Why is this thing not moving? All related rankings. I just had that information up. It's not letting me get it now. Son of a bitch. What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Thank you for the share, Master Teacher. Let me see if I can reload this page and see if it gives me that drop down that I want. Now it's not giving me the rankings. Motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. Stupid. Let's see if that works. Okay, this one works. Okay, so this is the thing I was looking at and I was listening to on the video because the side conversation I was having about Snake Eyes in my comment section on my last Snake Eyes video was with my boy G.I. Joe, right? Ford's dad. And it's my homeboy. He's a big G.I. Joe fan. He's, a Marine, so he's really into the original lore of Snake Eyes. So we're just going back and forth talking about it. And he's deciding on, I guess, our conversation if he's going to watch the movie. And then I'm looking and telling him that, well, all of these movies, because he mentioned the fact that Snake Eyes was losing money. And I told him that all of these movies are going to have an asterisk next to their name for this year because this is post-pandemic numbers. It's post-pandemic numbers. So it's people finally getting out and coming back to the movie theaters. So it's, to me, it's not really a true number. Something like a peace to you, bro. It's not really a true number of performance of a real movie. What you're seeing is how many people are still too scared to go out or deciding they'll watch this stuff at home, because a lot of these movies are able to be watched at home on your streaming service. You don't have to pay to go to the theater to see it. Whereas a movie a year or two ago, you had to go to the theaters to see it. So that's a huge segment of the market and money that is removed, that some people just don't want to go to the theaters to see some of this stuff. So you have to me, you have to judge it with an asterisk, right? So what I see when I'm looking at these numbers, it is a decline. It is declining, and it's declining by a lot, which kind of sucks in a way, because one, I look at what's driving the decline, because if you went from average ticket sale, what this price is, or average theater gross, right? So say that's how much the theater took in on ticket sales for that movie this weekend, those 3 days, took in 1,500, right? For that one day. Next day, they took in 12. Sunday, they took in 9. It was Sunday, right? To me, Friday still looks strong. Saturday shows a decline. But Friday is traditionally the night that everybody goes out to see new movies, right? And being that this is happening at the same time as Old is out, I expect to see a decline after the second week. So looking at these numbers, like 5 mil, 9 mil, 13 mil, they're still making some money, but it's slow. And it is falling off a little bit. So if I look at this, like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I got time, so I'm doing something different, because it's easier for me to just record this and get my thoughts out on it rather than trying to recap you guys a week from now on it. Look, domestically, fucking Old did awesome. I haven't even reviewed this yet, but days later it's showing a decline. Yeah, I'm almost by half. Yeah, so Friday it did about 2,000. That's what, 500 more than what Snake Eyes was doing in the second week, right? But by the second day, still in number one, dropped off about 400, but it's still beating out Snake Eyes of what it was doing in the second week. Now by Sunday, it made more than Snake Eyes, but it made on a Sunday in its first week what Snake Eyes was making on a Saturday in its second week. So to me, this is all interesting numbers to sit there and compile and stuff. And it's not, look, it's not Bureau of Labor Statistics and all that other stuff that you can look at and find out about black folks and who's a better parent and all that kind of stuff. It's not. But numbers and statistics on certain things are interesting. What up, Truth? Oh, now you were saying God today, huh? Okay, whatever. Okay, Truth, whatever. But it's a bit interesting. It's a bit interesting to me, because the one thing that's interesting to me off the top is that I can account for two of these numbers, right? My money went into this. So this is all information that's useful. But I understand that a lot of people use this number as a way to determine, well, most people do, and theaters do, as a way to determine if a movie is a flop or a success. But from my understanding, a flop or a success means on how much it took you to make this movie. If you don't make back your initial investment on this movie, then it can be considered a flop. But what I also understand is a fan following and a cult following. And a lot of the movies that have been really good over the years had a small cult following that made it a success, not just in the theaters. It was either too smart or people didn't get it. And later on, over time, it became one of those fan favorite movies. Those are the ones I look for. Those are the ones I enjoy because it's not a huge box office success, but it's a success with its fans. And its fans love it and make it popular, like Star Wars. So when I look at this, 16 million domestic, 6 million international, 23 million worldwide. This is what I'm looking at. It's like, how much did it cost to make this movie? Well, if you saw the movie old, they're basically in only 2 locations, maybe 3 at the most. No, 4 locations in the water. So say 5 locations on that, right? Did it cost 23 million to make? Don't know. I don't know what their initial price was in making this movie. Is it a success? Who knows? But this is what I look at. What you made in your whole nut versus what you spent out of pocket to make this movie. Now, if you made $23 million in 3 days, 3 days, I don't know. If I made $23 million in 1 day, I wouldn't consider that a failure. And even for the Snake Eyes movie, if I made, $13 million on a movie in my second week, in the theaters, I wouldn't necessarily consider that bad. I still made $13 million. Question is did it cost more than $17 million or what it's made overall to make this movie? Don't know. So that was it. Yeah, you think that's funny? Okay. I thought it was funny reading the saying God in here. I told you, you're supposed to just be, your name is supposed to be Z Truth. Do you want me to put it in the chat? I'll put it in the chat for you so you understand how to spell it. Z Truth. There you go. That should be your YouTube name. So everybody understands who the hell you are when you show up. You can accept the derivation this way too. Z Truth. Because we already got one truth as we know it. And you too young to have the truth. You're looking for it still. Stop being over ambitious. But that's it. I just wanted to share that a little bit with you guys and show you something. The closmojo.com. I don't have a problem with passing on information that I learned because, like I've told you guys, I'm learning. I'm always trying to learn. Always trying to learn information. So I don't shit on anybody who brings me new information. It's something that I can learn and use and put in my toolbox. So shout out to Edward Anderson for telling me about that site and me actually going and looking at the site. And it does have a lot of useful information for a nerd like me who likes numbers and seeing all this stuff. Outside of the fact that it got the calendar on there so I can know when the next movie is coming out. Because wait a minute, let me bring this part back up so y'all can see this part. Not that stupid ass. Ooh, Artifort says Snake Eyes cost $88 million. Boy, they better get it up. They better have a new advertising campaign or something. Because I told you guys, I saw the movie. Was it the greatest movie ever? No. Told you I saw it. Will I see it again? I can wait and see it somewhere else. It wasn't the greatest movie ever, but to me, good is really low. Good means you could watch it. Bad for me means I wouldn't watch it. I would advise you not to watch it. But what bad means to me, I'm mad that I watched it, but I still did. Good means you could watch it and have some kind of opinion on it. That's why I don't give really up and down ratings because I'm not a film student. I'm not an overly technical film student that's going to go in and overly critique absolutely every note on it. I'm going to base it on what I got from the movie, how I felt about the experience, and all that shit. So that's going to be more interesting to me. Damn, it costs 88 million. Woo! They better get their money up. Man, what's up, Art Fort? Dope boy in the building. All right, so this is the other thing that I'm looking at right now. This is the other thing that I like. Release dates. I love fucking release dates because, like I was telling you guys, there's so much stuff coming out. This is just the domestic schedule. Like week after week. Next, if you've gone to the theaters and seen a movie recently, you'll see how many trailers they're running in front of these movies. These things is coming out right on top of each other. Like the Green Knight, I kind of want to see that. I do, because it looks in me. I like Dev Patel. So I might check that out because it looks interesting to me. Would everybody else check it out? Would it make a good review? I don't fucking know, maybe. Because most of you guys aren't watching that shit. Stillwater with Matt Damon. Looks interesting. I'd check it out, but it looks like a Not Without My Daughter, 2021. But I'd check it out to see if I was actually right, because I don't like I said, I don't like speaking from a position of ignorance on some of this shit. I like actually knowing what it is. Playing God, it has Alan Tudyk in it. I like Alan Tudyk. Now, Suicide Squad, y'all know I'm going to see that. It's a geek movie. That's Mando. I got to go see that one, just because. Don't Breathe 2. I like the first Don't Breathe. I like Stephen Lang, but I thought he was dead in that last movie, so I can see it or not see it. I don't overly get into the horror movies anymore. Free Guy, Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi. If you want to see Taika Waititi be goofy and understand why Ragnarok was goofy, you probably can catch it by watching Free Guy. Because as far as I know, this is the second movie that Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi have been in together. If anybody knows what that first one was, throw it in the chat because I want to see how boned up on this shit you are. And no Googling. Don't Google this shit. You got to use your wetware. If you don't know off the top of your head, then shut the fuck up. Because anybody can Google, even a 5-year-old. So that's not special. This Aretha Franklin movie, Respect. I told Dr. Tia-san and BGS about this one. This looks like What's Love Got to Do with It 2021 from the commercial. And I'm very suspect on this movie. I'll see it, but I'm very suspect on this movie. This is not passing that smell test for me. And it got some people in it that I would appreciate seeing on film. Jennifer Hudson, Forrest Whitaker, Marlon Wayans, and stuff like that. There's people that are watching this, but how the trailer looks. Look, I'm not looking to try to paint the next dude as fucking Ike Turner all of a sudden. That's not it for me. Samuel L. Jackson and Michael Keaton in something. Maggie Q, Robert Patrick. Did I see this trailer, The Protege? I might have to check out that trailer, The Protege. I think I did, but I'm remembering very little of it, so I got to go back and catch it again. This one right here, my nigga. Reminiscence. This one looks interesting as hell to me. And look, if you read this title, it says mystery, romance, sci-fi, thriller. 1, 2, 3 of those things I fucking love. I love mysteries, I love sci-fi, and I do love thrillers. Okay? Now, the other stuff you read here, Hugh Jackman, Thandie Newton, like both of those actors. This movie looks a little different. It's involving some technology. It's involving memories and going back and altering your memories and some shit. Some ecological stuff going on. You got a lot of things going on here. And the trailer looks really interesting. Like, I don't understand completely what the fuck is going on. And for a smart person, that's interesting to me. Because if I don't know completely what's going on, then I really want to watch your movie. Especially if it don't look stupid. So I'm definitely checking this out soon. Definitely checking this out soon. There's no way I'm going to miss that one. What you saying you trying to see Free Guy? Yeah, I'm trying to see Free Guy. I like my mindless entertainment. It's gonna be stupid, and it's gonna be stupid funny, but I'll watch that. Why the fuck not? I watch a lot of stuff that I have to overly think about. I can watch something that I don't have to overly think about and enjoy it for the most part. So I'll see Free Guy. I like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is cool with me, right? So yeah, Reminiscence. I'm going to see that. That made my list. Risen. I don't know anything about that. It's in a limited release, so I probably have to try to find it. Candyman. I'm still waiting for this one to come out because I am a Candyman fan, and I like this lead actor, Yaya, Tiana Paris. Come on, Black Lives Matter. Thank you. So, Candyman, Yaya, Tiana, worldwide release. Yeah, I'm still seeing that. I was waiting for that to come out, so you don't have to even worry about that. You got to worry about that at all. And The Colony. I don't know anything about that one. Sarah Sophie Busselini. Interesting. So that's covered all the way up to August. Is there another page? No other page? That's all you're giving me up to August? Oh, that's just for July. Let's see if it changes up for August. Yeah, my Free Guy, respect. Did you guys get to see how fast I actually read? How fast I actually read and retain information. Okay, Shang-Chi. So we know we got Shang-Chi coming out in September. Geek movie, obviously going to see that. This movie right here, Mogul Mowgli, this is one I'm going to want to check out because if you get something I didn't get to go into on yesterday's show on Shop Talk Live is the director that they cast for Blade, the director they hired for the Blade movie with Mashallah Ali. The director they cast is the guy who directed this movie, Mogul Mowgli, right? So I'm curious about this movie to see what the director's style is like. And this is a good note for you guys who actually want to get into actually studying films and not just when it comes out, you finally found out about a release date and you only know about the movie from a commercial right before it came out. Do your research on these people who make these damn movies, these actors, these directors, these producers, and see what other stuff they've done. I do the same thing with politics. When I get really into politics, I start looking up all these people, all of them, and just gathering the information on who the hell they are and getting the feel and an understanding for who they are and what they're about. What's up, Malika? Me too. I have serious reservations about the Aretha Franklin biopic. By the way, Into You was okay, even with this film. Yeah, it was just okay. I wasn't saying it was the most awesome thing in the world, but it was just okay. I don't mind hearing about the rest of the characters, but I can understand a lot of dudes being fucking pissed off because they showed up for He-Man and you got very little fucking He-Man. So be disappointed. Put your lube back in the closet. What the fuck, dude? It's called Masters of the Universe. It ain't called fucking He-Man. And I will actually, thanks to Art of Fort, I will go back and watch that He-Man and the Masters of the Universe 2003 because I'm hearing good things about that shit from a couple other sources. So I want to go back and actually check out that cartoon and see how awesome it was. This one, MOTU. I'll see part 2 and see what they do with it and see if they bring He-Man back because obviously they have to. You can't have the Masters of the Universe and not have He-Man there. Or maybe they fucking try to make Tila She-Man. I don't know. I'm waiting to see. So I'm not as bent out of shape as everybody else, but I understand their resentment. You need the mindless entertainment for decompression. That's exactly what it is, Truth. That's exactly what it is. You need mindless entertainment to decompress. If everything you do is serious and wrapped up in just the world all the time, you will go crazy. You will. Just like being over-organized, I'm very organized. But I control what people call OCD right now. Right? I control it. You know why? Because being that OCD will make you crazy. You will blow a fucking fuse in your brain eventually. You can't. You got to accept a amount of fucking chaos into your life, an amount. I'm not saying all, I'm saying an amount, a comfortable amount for you. Can't put everything in the world right. And you can't be so entrenched in the world with stuff that you can't control that you can't even enjoy life. You can't do that. You got to try to enjoy life a little bit and decompress and watch something silly that'll make you laugh. Is good for your fucking serotonin and endorphin levels. It'll make level your fucking brain out. But anyway, this movie, Mogul Mowgli, I'm going to watch this movie because I'm curious about it. And I like Riz Ahmed. He was in the first Venom movie. And Anjana Vasan, don't recall what I've seen him in. Naban Rizwa. I watch some British television, so I might have seen these guys as something else. I may not recognize their names right now, but when I see them on screen, I will make the connection between the name and the face. I usually remember the faces first. But I'll check that out. I will check this out. Probably not in the theater. I'll see if it's streaming somewhere, just so I can actually get a feel for who this director on Blade is. Because he's going to be directing the movie of one of my favorite characters on film, and it's a black dude, and the director is Arab man. So I need to understand what his work is. That's like understanding who who James Gunn is. If you've watched his work, understanding who the Wachowskis are. If you've watched all their films outside of just The Matrix, you get a feel for who they are from their work. That's why this Foundation TV show I'm kind of skeptical on, because I know the writer and I know he's the one directed it and I know his work. If you saw Blade 3, this is the same guy. So he on my suspect list. He's better when he works with somebody. You don't need to be working without a net. He needs a net. So I'm waiting to see how he's going to, bastardize these books that I've read through and actually enjoy. Hey, Artisan, what was the hype with Boss Baby? At the job, I see older people watching it. I don't know what the hype with Boss Baby is. You got to ask Dr. T about that one, because I didn't watch Boss Baby. I had no interest in watching Boss Baby. And when I heard that he watched it, I kind of fucking laughed. I'm like, you watch Boss Baby? Why? I don't get it. Look, I work in a shop where I can sell you regular books and damn near porno magazines. Look, I don't begrudge you your proclivities. You have your proclivities. They ain't mine, but they ain't got to be. I'm selling you this shit. I'm not keeping it for myself. So I don't know what it was with Boss Baby. I don't know. Maybe people were just hard up for animation or something like that. Don't know. Maybe it was funny. Won't know. Will I go back and watch it? No, I won't. I can ask my daughter about it. Maybe she'll watch it. I don't know. But it wasn't on my radar, on my screen, in my territory, not my sector. So I wasn't watching it at all. But I will tell you something I did see that was on my radar, that I did watch, which most people probably didn't. I should have put, what am I doing? Got the damn box office thing right here. Let me put that in there. See how much it made. Like, I've said many a times, I am a cinephile, and that's not a bad word. I know Malika is too, but Malika actually studied film, so it makes sense. And one of the movies I saw, which I haven't reviewed yet, because I want to figure out how to do the review for you guys. Ooh, damn. Is this movie, Minari. So Minari is about Korean Americans. The Moonlight book. What Moonlight book? You talking about Moon Knight? Is that an autocorrect mistake? And no, because you know I'm not getting new books in my shop yet. So I'm not going to other shops to spend money there. So no, I haven't read it yet. But you got your weekly haul video coming up, right? So you read it and tell us what's good about it. So I'm watching your channel for, motherfucker. All right, people can. Kids are buying tickets ain't watching it though. Truth is funny. He said people with canes is buying tickets. Yeah, because they just want to see the animation. It's probably novel to them because they grew up with black and white fucking Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny. So they're like, oh my god, that looks so awesome. I ain't watching Boss Baby. You're no interest whatsoever. But anyway, this movie Minari is about a Korean family in the 1980s going to Arkansas, and it stars what is his name, Ben Young, Ben Nguyen, or whatever his name is. So fucking Glenn from Walking Dead, he stars in this movie, and I went and saw this movie, and it was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. Now, it'll probably be boring as fuck to you guys because just my audience here in this sphere seems more action oriented, right? And if it's not black, you're probably not that interested in it, right? But I watch everybody's movies. If it comes across me and I find it interesting, I watch everybody's movies. There's a Russian movie on Netflix right now with Captain something or other that I want to see because it looks interesting. And it's an action movie, it's a superhero movie, but it's Russian. I'll read subtitles. I grew up on anime. I don't give a fuck about reading no damn subtitles. I can read. That's not a problem for me. Yeah, you meant Moon Knight. You said you might send me another package. Hopefully not the way you sent that girl last time. I want your package, homeboy. Care package. Say care package. You got to put care in front of that package because I like you, but not like that. I'm in California, but I'll swing that way. I'm a lesbian. Okay, told you before. Thank you, but no thank you. Not my type. Like a feminine structure. But anyway, damn, it only made 3 million domestic, but internationally it made 11 million. So it is an international movie. Earliest release date was in February for New Zealand, and it's been out for weeks. Yeah, it's been out 4 weeks. It's not making hella money here, but damn, it fell off. Eesh. Ooh, it fell off bad. It even fell off in Asia. Jesus. Yeah, the movie is kind of boring. Well, not boring. The movie is kind of slow. And it's not a lot of action. It's not a lot of stuff happening. It's more about the family and what they're going through moving to this place, moving to Arkansas, and the father wanting to do this farm shit. And then, to me, it's more of a character study on the people involved in that family. And if you have ever been involved with an Asian family, you see some things that carry through. As you know, I was married to an Asian woman for like 14 years, my ex-wife. And the mother of my daughter is Asian. So I got to see up close and personal how at least a Thai and Filipino families work. Some of that shit carries through because I have friends that are Chinese and Japanese and stuff like that. It's not a big deal to me. It's common over here in California. So I've seen some of the stuff play out, and watching this movie was interesting because it's playing out in a Korean family and seeing some of the tropes that come in and some of the life and fish out of water situations where they're adjusting to living in this world and changing their worldview and what he wants to do, and the father following a dream and having his family there with him. So it was a good story about family. It's an artsy movie. So it's not a lot of action. It's all in the dialogue and it's all in the situations and stuff like that. But it was interesting to me. It was really interesting to me. And one of the most interesting things I saw in the movie was what that guy did for a job in the 1980s. And basically, he was a chicken sexter. If you don't know what a chicken sexter is, look it up. Basically, what he does all day is pick up baby chicks, look at their ass, and try to figure out their gender, and then put them in one bucket or another all day. That's what he was doing. And he was good at it because he was the fastest at it. I'm like, that's a fucking job? That's a job? Looking at chickens' asses and baby chicks' ass and figuring out their sex? That's a whole job? There's somebody who's awesome at that? Do they get awards? I was amazed. I was absolutely amazed. Loki virus reloaded. Uh oh. What's up, BTM? What's up, Black Lives Matter? Toya the Tutor. You know you got two T's up there. As a female, I don't know if you want somebody calling you TT. But look, I make these associations because I like words. So, what's up, TT? Yeah, Cool Flick seems interesting. It's interesting, Malika. From a family standpoint, is interesting because what the father goes through in dealing with his family and trying to keep his family together is universal in some senses. Father has a dream. His son has a medical condition. His wife don't really want to be there, but they've come from California, moved to Arkansas, and the father is going to farm this land and do it. And the characters he deals with, some of the actors that you know, are interesting as fuck. Like, dude, this dude is weird as hell. But it's an interesting story about a family. And then when the grandmother comes to live with them, and what happens with the grandmother and what happens with the kids and how that family dynamic ends up playing out, you get to see everybody's story about who they are and how they adapt and how they live in a situation. And at one point in the movie, I'll tell you this much. I was mad at that wife. I was pissed off at that wife because she pulled some bullshit. She pulled some absolute fucking bullshit. They had a deal. If certain things happen, she was going to shut her mouth and they was going to be cool and stay. Or if it didn't go that way, they was going to move. And then it didn't go her way. And then she found a way to still be upset about that shit. I fucking hate shit like that because that's real life. That's what happens in real life. Motherfuckers still find a way to be mad so they can get what they wanted the whole time. They were not holding to no deal. I was pissed. And up until that point, I was cool with the character. I thought she was just a little irritating, but I was cool with her. At that point, I was like, fuck her. Fuck her. All this hard work this man putting in, and now she's still going to try to find a way to be upset. You had a deal. Stick to it, motherfucker. Oh, no, I was pissed. I was pissed at her from that point on. But it's an interesting movie. So, Malika, if you're interested in it, you'll probably catch it. If you are, check it out. Let me know what you think. Art of Fort. What games are you talking about? Nigga, you always ask me about some shit like I'm supposed to be doing shit on your time frame. What? What games? What games? Mass Effect? I'm playing Mass Effect right now. I mean, not at the moment, but I started a character on Mass Effect. Is that what you're talking about? Because I go back and forth between my games. Just like my books. I go back and forth between my books. So I read it to a point, and when I'm bored, I go on to the next one. If it's really interesting, I'll power through it completely. But as it stands right now, my books, I'm still going through the Man Not. And then I just picked up that American Marxism that Angry Man was showing, so I'm going to go through that one too. And then I got the Faces at the Bottom of the Well that BGS recommended that I'm going through. So I continue to read thoroughly on top of having some comic books to read. What's up, Karina? What's up, Karine? Hey, will you be reviewing Dune? Hell yeah. Yes, Karine. Yes. I've read almost through that complete series. I have to get back at God King Dune. God Emperor of Dune. I have to finish the rest of that, and I'm going to finish it before the movie comes out, and then we're going to do a panel to talk about it because BGS has read through all these books, even though it's been a while, and he has been my crack dealer for the Dune books on audiobooks so I can get through them all. Same thing with the Foundation. And little it be known, I always put that shit out there because it's impressive to me, but Grinch God has read all those Dune books, and he loved that shit. So I'm trying to catch up to Grinch. because he'd want to have me hyped to read it. Because I, truth be told, until him and BGS started talking about them Doom books, I hadn't had an interest in reading many of the rest of them. And perspective, the 60-year-old, 30-year-old perspective, Grinch gave me more of a reason to read those other books by Frank Herbert's son and get into the story. And I did get into the story. That shit was more interesting outside of that. It was more interesting. And it is more action. And I don't have a problem with it either way. So, yes, we will do a Dune panel because Charles Gilmore actually had called me out at one point, and I told him we'd do a Dune panel as soon as I could nail down Grinch and BGS, but I figured I would wait until it got closer to the movie coming out so we can have that conversation. Because after the movie comes out, every motherfucker is going to crawl out the woodwork talking about how much they know about fucking Dune and ain't read none of them goddamn books. Just wait and see. I just gave you a forecast for what you can feel like. All these fucking geek channels are going to be filled up with motherfuckers talking about this story and talking about this, and they only going to be talking about it from the perspective of watching David Lynch movie. Never have read all through the books, and they ain't going to. They're going to Google and Wikipedia as much as they can out of that shit. They're going to regurgitate that shit like they projectile vomited in The Exorcist. What? Double C, what? You said you was a geek. Dub. Look. Grinch is a perfect example of why black men are more than just what the fuck they look like. But you, sir, might be a little disappointed in you. I know you honest. Hey, I know you being honest, Double C. I'm just giving you shit. I told you guys before. If I don't give you shit, I don't actually like you. I don't. That's just how I am. If I don't give you shit, I don't actually like you. Me giving you shit is actually a sign of respect. It means I actually like you and I can play with you a little bit. Have a little fun with you. If I didn't like you, I'd never make a joke to you. I probably wouldn't even talk to your ass. Never. You'd be seeing this like, I don't waste my time on people I don't actually fucking enjoy talking to. So I'm just surprised, Double C. So if you haven't read Dune, that definitely means you haven't read The Foundation. Oh my God. I didn't know about The Foundation until BGS was mentioning this shit to me. So look, as I've said it, you find the shit when you find it. It comes to you when it comes to you. And when you find out about it, then it's on you to actually decide to go back and read the shit or still be ignorant to it. I decided I wanted to read it and somebody had to connect on it, so they hooked me up so I could read it. So, since I got a little bit of connecting you in here in my goddamn chat, this is the Dune book series. Double C and anybody else who has not read this shit. He said grounds for divorce. He said your wife had the same reaction. So I like your wife, Miss Dub C. She be on it, man. Like, nigga, what? Oh no, you making your own dinner tonight. You might be on the couch with your hand in a book. So this is what it is, okay? These are the books, and I'm up to here, I believe. I believe I'm up to Heretics of Doom, right? I have to double check. So I still got some other books to go through. But those are the ones. Dub C and anybody else, and Kareem, Doom, Doom Messiah, Children of Doom, God Emperor of Doom, Heretics of Doom, Chapter House Doom, Hunters of Doom, Sandworms of Doom. These books have been interesting. I read the first one like 2 or 3 times before I ever found out about Doom Messiah, Children of Doom, and stuff like that. Loved it. So I went back and read it. And so when I heard Greenwich and BGS talking about it, yeah, I looked into it. Turned out the Connect had the audiobooks for me, hooked me up. So I've been going through all of these books. I went through the Foundation series quicker because that was on my plate and it really got me. But Dune is still there. I was in the Dune camp way before I even knew about the rest of these goddamn books. Really loved it. So if you a sci-fi geek, read a book. Read a lot of them. Helps your vocabulary. Now this Foundation series, the other series that they're making a show of, which is going to come out on Apple TV in the next month. It's going to come out in October, I think it is. This is the Isaac Asimov series that kind of spawned the rest of Dune, Star Wars stuff. And this series is awesome. This was fucking awesome to me. But if you look at the release dates, Foundation is the first one. 42. This motherfucker wrote this shit in 1942. 10 years later, he did another one in 52, 53. And then he went back in the 80s and filled in some of the blanks with Prelude to the Foundation, Foundation's Edge, Second Foundation. The Second Foundation was the shit. Oh my God. Foundation's Edge was good too. Foundation and Earth, Prelude to the Foundation, which was awesome. All these books were good. Loved them all. Loved them all. Still remember them vividly. So when it gets a little closer to this Foundation TV show coming out on Apple TV, I'm going to grab BGS and West Coast African. And I think Dead Set is reading through those too. And folks that was all reading through it at the same time, we're going to have another Encyclopedia Nigalactica meeting, and we're going to talk about the shit again. Then after the show come out, we really going to be talking about that shit because we know it's going to be kind of washed ridiculously. But I want to see what they changed and what they kept is my main thing. I know the gyno washing is going to happen. I just want to know how much they changed. How much of the original material is still in there, or did they just totally vash the whole fucking thing up? And that's how I look at a lot of this shit now. I just have to see how much they ruined it. I know it's going to happen. I just need to know how much and where and what parts. All right, so that's it. That's it. All right, so hopefully that was like 50 minutes of an impromptu stream. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you didn't. But that's it. I'm gonna go run a couple of my errands. I need some chicken thighs tonight. Toya got me thinking about chicken thighs, so I'm gonna get me some chicken thighs so I can make myself some damn dinner. Thank y'all for following through. My wife had to read Dune when she was in school. Oh, she had to read it? Well, that's good. There's a lot of stuff I had to read that I really ended up loving. But Dune was one of those ones I just read. I just read because I wanted to. Because I saw the movie. And the movie never made much sense to me when I was younger because they used to do the damn 3-4 night events on television, and they did it for Dune, and I didn't understand why these people were talking to themselves so fucking much. It's like, oh, they're making a big deal of this, and they're like, well, old people don't care about a lot of stuff that don't make sense. When I got a little older, I actually went back and read the book because I had a conversation in Arizona with a bartender, and the bartender was telling me, because we're sitting in the bar, I'm getting a drink, and the TV is playing, and Dune is playing on the TV, which is funny. You're in Arizona, and fucking Dune is playing on the television. It's hot as fuck outside. And I'm watching it. Me and the bartender start talking because he's saying how he's asked me if I liked the movie. I said, yeah, it was a good movie. He said, did you ever read the book? I was like, no, never read the book. He said, oh, you should read it because it's really interesting that their whole society runs off of worm shit. I'm like, what? That's in a book? said, I didn't get that. He said, yeah, that's what the spice is. I'm like, really? Oh, shit, I got to get that book. So since my family was big on reading, my mother was really big on reading, went back and got the book and got the whole breakdown of the Fremen and the spice into the interspacing guild. And because I was like a teenager, preteen, a little closer, it started making more sense to me. It made a lot more sense to me. And as I read it, as I got older and went back and read it again, it kept making more and more sense to me. That's why you always have to go back and read books that you enjoyed, like maybe every 5 to 10 years. Go back and read it again. You'll get something else out of it. I swear to you, you'll get something else out of it because your mind has matured a little bit more. And if they're good books, you will get more out of it. You will. That's what makes them classics. Like, there was a time that I was going through all the classics, reading all the classics, because I bought a book when I was taking my kids to like Barnes and Nobles every week. We go every week because I was going through like a book a day, book every 2 or 3 days because I was having long commutes. So I was just powering through Star Wars books and all kind of stuff really quickly because it's a muscle. The more you work that muscle at a point like these 25 pounds ain't shit, dude. I can do this all day. I'm getting my reps up on books. So every week we were going back to Barnes and Nobles buying a new book. And one of the books that I bought was 100 classic books, top 100 books of all time or something like that. And I started looking through the list and seeing which books I'd actually read. I'd read a good number of them. I'm not saying I read the whole goddamn list, but out of 100, there was at least a good, 15, 20 books that I had already read. It's like, oh shit, well, I'm doing pretty good. So I just start crossing stuff off. And some of the stuff I went back and got was some of the old classics from the Victorian era. That's when I went back and read The Portrait of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Love that book. Love that character. It made League of Extraordinary Gentlemen a little bit more understandable when you see Dorian Gray sitting up there and why is this motherfucker can't be killed? Dorian Gray was into some different shit, dude. Dorian Gray was oh my God. That was some shit. It made more sense as we were older. I watched the movie like 100 times through the years, and every time I watch it, I discover something new. Yeah, Kareen, if you really want to have a good time with Dune, go back and watch the sci-fi series Dune, that big 2-parter, because that's the most accurate. It is. Even though I love the David Lynch movie, the sci-fi version that did Dune and Children of Dune is the most accurate to those 2 books. They are. And then if you read the rest of those books, you'll see the motherfuckers was on point, even down to the still suits. Like, oh shit, Sci-Fi Channel did an awesome job on that. They were pretty accurate. It wasn't 100%, but goddamn. So I love both equally. David Lynch got me into reading Dune, and then the Sci-Fi Channel movies actually flushed out what I had already known from reading books. It gave me a little bit on that whole Children of Dune side, which I knew, okay, this must have came from the other books that I didn't read. And then when I went back and actually read those other books, it was pretty spot on. There was a couple of parts that I wish they would have had in the shit, in the actual TV show, but at the time, I know they probably couldn't do that special effects wise. Because there is a scene with Leto II where he's leaving this, what is it? It's a siege. And it's surrounded by walls, and they growing plants and stuff like that on the inside. Where he start first feeling his power and shit. It looked awesome in my imagination. It was written awesome. Like, dude, they should have had that shit in the TV show. That would have been awesome. Special effects at the time. Nowadays they can do it. So if you don't know, the new Dune movie that's come out in October 22nd is when that one's coming out. It's a 2-part movie. It's a 2-part movie. That's not going to be the only one. They're doing the other one too. So hopefully they're filming them both at the same time. And that's why it's taking a little longer. But that you won't have to wait long for the part 2 to that one. But yeah, it's good. Go back and read stuff again. You'll get more out of it. Okay, so my divergent story on Dune and how I went back and read the book is over. Thanks to that bartender in Arizona. I don't know if you're still working at the Hilton. Hopefully you're not, because that's been too many decades ago for your ass to be stuck there. But well, blessings to him for getting me, putting the bug in my ear to go back and reread or read that book and buy it. Fast, reread, rewatch all forms of older media to get a more mature and sensible mindset, appreciation for the media. Exactly, Malika. See, I like that me and Malika on the same page. That's why I can fuck with him. Because I tell you this, Malika, here's the funny thing. As much as everybody's hating on Masters of the Universe right now, or Masters of the Universe Revelations, they went back and watched those older cartoons, they would think that shit was stupid. They would. It would just be stupid. That's the funny thing about nostalgia, motherfucker. Nostalgia means that you remember it from just this point where you were when you first got hooked up with it, which means for us, it was like, what, were you 10? 8? 83? I was 10 years old. Or it wasn't even 83, 82? Yeah, I was like 10 years old. So if a 40-year-old me or 40-plus-year-old me wants to look at what the 10-year-old understood or what the 10-year-old loved about it, I would understand that the 10-year-old don't really know shit about this. He's liking it because it's geared towards a 10-year-old. If I go back and watch it now, I probably understand it a bit better and understand that it wasn't as awesome as my 10-year-old self thought it was. It's just a fucking cartoon to sell toys. And I put the love into it. I put the emphasis on it and made it more than it was because it was bigger than life in my imagination for me. I had Grayskull, I had He-Man, I had Skeletor, I had Fakor, Trapjaw, Beastman, Merman, all the motherfuckers. Sorceress, the fucking hawk thing that went on the top. A Grayskull, my mother was into buying that kind of shit. Got all of that. But I recognize it for what it was. It was awesome to me because I remember that time in my childhood, but I'm not that child anymore. So I still appreciate it, but I know it wasn't overly awesome. I don't know that much. Never read books, but watch countless commentaries on it over the years. Also in the movie, I forgot Sting was in it until I saw it again in the spring. Sting in the spring, huh, Kareem? Yeah, that's the thing. And I'll say this too, Kareem. It'll sound stupid. It won't sound stupid. It'll sound funny me saying this, but watch how many commentaries you watch from people, because you have to understand that everything you take into your mind affects you in some kind of way. And one of the things I look at when I listen to people is what they actually say, the words that actually come out of their mouth and what they say. And because I watch documentaries and commentaries and stuff like that to get, to hear from the actual people who do the work and write these stories and come up with these concepts and stuff, so I understand who they are, which is my research. I'm really keen with my ear when I hear people repeating talking points that came from somebody else. One of the things I really try to do, especially on my channel with my movie reviews, is to make you fucking think. That's one of the things I do in life. I try to make people think outside of preconceived, patternistic, fucking pre-programmed responses and actions. And a perfect example of this is going back and forth with my boy Sam that I told you guys about the other day. I played a little clip from him the other day that he sent me, which made me laugh. But I was talking to Sam back and forth about this Black Widow movie and stuff like that. And I was going over the whole Taskmaster thing with him. And I told him the same thing I told you guys, how it's called the Taskmaster Protocols. She had a chip in her neck and the suit was doing all the work. So in my mind, she ain't really the fucking Taskmaster. The real Taskmaster is out there. And for my theory, Dreykov had seen the real Taskmaster before and tried to emulate his ability in that Taskmaster protocol. Now, telling Sam that, he saw the movie and he was kind of pissed about Taskmaster, but he had never thought about it like that. You know why? Because he wasn't putting his own thought process into it. He wasn't trying to make it make sense. He was just reacting to the fact that it wasn't what he was told it was supposed to be. In that sense, you're just reacting, you're not thinking. And that's no slight against him, but in this culture, that's what we do a lot of times. We try to trick people into not fucking thinking, not putting their own thoughts into this process of understanding this information. People who actually do that is where you hear really original thought. So, like if you heard Angry Man this morning, you would have heard some original thoughts, some original ideas, some shit you had never heard before, because he is somebody consciously taking in this information, thinking about it, and spitting out to you his thought process, not something he heard somebody else say, regurgitated. If you listen to Kendra not too many hours ago, you would have heard the same shit. Kendra was on fucking fire. Why? Because Kendra thinks not along preconceived, pre-programmed lines. She actually takes in the information, looks at it for herself, formulates it in her mind, and then gives you a response out of her mouth, out of her mind, about what she thought about the information. Not just what somebody else said about the goddamn information. No regurgitation. Now, the only thing that's in common with me, Kendra, and Angry Man is we all Gen Xers. And we all geeks. Because geeks disseminate information. Geeks break down information and look for meaning in it. Younger people behind us usually just regurgitate information. Whatever somebody told them, that's what they repeat. They never thought about it 10 seconds. Never. They just know what somebody else said about it. So when I do my reviews and when I talk about the things that I talk about, when I talk to just the people that I usually talk to, the main thing I'm always trying to do is be that wooden clog in the machine to get you to break out of that pattern and start fucking thinking, using your own goddamn brain and your own intellect to figure out what the hell is going on. That's what I tell you. Look, this is what I thought of the movie, but you can go see it and decide for yourself. You know why? Because I want you to fucking think about it yourself. Not because somebody else told you it sucked. Why did it suck for you? I could have heard him say that shit. I don't need you for that. I need you to tell me why you thought it sucked. And if you tell me why you thought it sucked, then I won't hear the same lines that he said out of his mouth 10 minutes ago that I heard too. It'll be something new because it'll be from your perspective, because that's the only fucking thing unique about you in this world. Your perspective, because only you have it. So that's one of the things I always try to do. Try to make people think. Try to kickstart that fucking thought process for you to go, damn, I didn't think about it that way before. Exactly. You're welcome. The more you use this, the less you have to worry about what somebody else says. That's kind of ironic. The government and the media use their own taskmaster protocols to control our thoughts and reactions. Yeah, they do, because they want you to mimic. What good is a government if a government doesn't want you to act the way that they can predict on their behalf? What do you think military training is? Military training is to get people from disparate backgrounds to come together and act as one, to do the same thing in the same situation, and get trained to the point, so much so that even if you're working with military from other countries, it's all the same training, so you all respond the same fucking way. Right? That's all that is. Because one, it helps organize people, and two, it helps you control people. Because you know how the fuck they're going to think. Why is guerrilla warfare such a useful tactic? Because you know what the fuck they're going to do. You have no idea what the guerrillas are going to do. They're not going to come right at you. They're going to hide in the cut and do some subversive shit, which fucks up your regimented computer-like thinking. Fucks up the program. It's the claw, the wooden clog in the machine. Your sabot. But thinking is one of the things that kept us from being just food items for everything else. Because you got to think outside the box. You'll live in one when you're dead. But while you're living, you need to be thinking outside of it. Oh, I lost some people with that shit. They don't like being told to think. Oh shit. Like I didn't know that shit. I live in the real world. But anyway, that's an hour, 7 minutes. I am getting hungry. I do need to go eat something. And I think some of y'all, what is it, 7, 3? It's like 10 o'clock. Y'all let them go to bed. Y'all got work in the morning. I'm still free skating right now. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for coming through and listening to my little bullshit. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. You just got a freebie because I just wanted to share some stuff with you. But Double C, Kareem, go read some Doom books. Get them on audio. They'll go quicker. You won't get to underline and understand a lot of stuff, but you can get it on Audible and listen to it. It'll go pretty quick, and you'll get into it. You'll probably want to read through the actual book after you do that part. Malika, brother, good to see you. Toya, the tutor, TT, good to see you, BTM. And I'm going to get out of here and go get me some food because I'm hungry. We hungry. All right. You guys, catch you the next time.